talk about how I'm thinking and feeling about Robert Pattinson, which is not the way I was feeling kind of off balance earlier in the summer. So that's good. You know, it's kind of to be expected that I'm just gonna kind of get a little bit off balance every once in a while. I mean, I'm not interacting with men. I'm not interacting with them. You know, I just don't. I mean, even when I was living, like sometimes I didn't like those shelters, the Woods Melon shelter and the Long Island shelter, but at the same time, you did interact with, at Long Island, you did interact with men more. Of course, it was dangerous and terrible. And it's good that they closed the place, but even so, not even just in terms of having someone to date, you know, that's not even really it. I mean, just to have, like, it's kind of abnormal to only be around one gender all the time, you know, even if it's just a question of, like, the male voices and how men interact with each other and, like, interacting with people in a mixed gender group. I do not have that experience. I mean, right now, the most serious experience that I'm having in terms of it's just a question of, like, danger and problems. That's the most emotionally intense experience I'm having with a male person at this point is that guy in the shelter who's stalking me, and that's just that, and that means me being, like, hyper vigilant all the time. It's horrible. I mean, right now that is like my primary experience with like a male person is that guy stalking me all the time, which is quite awful, really, really horrible. And that's not really how it's supposed to be. So I think it's to be expected. It's to be expected that there's going to be times when I'm going to be a little bit more vulnerable to kind of just losing my equilibrium, you know. And I did know Robert Pattinson, you know, we've just kind of been around each other for the past 5.5 years, you know. And I'm glad that things do not seem to be turning out to be, like, really, really, really vicious between us. So that's good. But, you know, I mean, he's still part of that world. As far as, like, even friendship, I think, is concerned, at this point, I guess I'm really not sure that that's still something that I could even make available, because he's, you know, still doing all the stuff that I don't like, doing things I don't like, you know. And it's not just a question of, like, my liking something or not liking something in terms of, like, the way that you would say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a neutral example. Say you go into a store to buy something that's not, like, non-essential in some way, you know, and you're like, well, I want this I know whatever it is that I say, whatever object I choose, I know someone's going to make an ad or a movie or a magazine, or, like, there's going to be some kind of reference to it, like Tupperware. All right, this is like I want this Tupperware and not that Tupperware, just because it's something where the choice is, like, maybe more specific to you, but not really that consequential. Whereas things that I really am talking about all the time in terms of, I really think this is a bad idea, this is not something that should be happening, those I have, you know, like, there are real reasons for that, like, important reasons for that, and I am just routinely disrespected about that. And it's not a question of trying to tell people what to do. You know, at a certain point in your life, you just say, well, these are my value system. This is my value system. You don't have that value system. And, you know, and even if you did have my value system, there are other things in your life that would make me very hesitant to actually really develop a personal relationship with you, even if it was just a friendship. You know, the fame thing is kind of a big deal, you know. I mean, I guess at this point I'm getting to be pretty known, but I still have some choice over what kind of fame that turns out to be. You know, there are lots and lots of people who are known, but they're not famous the way the movie stars are famous. So, like, even if they kind of, like, you know, go around somewhere, it's like somebody may see them and be like, oh, isn't that the person who does whatever it is. But there, you know, if it's not a question of that type of, like, you know, super celebrity, or being a very known politician, or something else where it's just really, you know, there's a lot of publicity attached to it. I don't know that my life necessarily has to, like, take on that shape, just because I myself am getting to be somewhat known. So that's where I'm at with that. You know, I mean, I'm feeling, you know, I'm alright.